Welcome to another episode of Hair Biz Radio with your host, Zakiyrah and
Mikey.
And we are back like we never left. This episode, we have an amazing, very special guest with us today, Miss Jennifer Williams.
Hi.
She is a TV personality. She is the founder of Jennifer Williams Production and also the owner of Redefined Glam. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, good. If y'all are watching on YouTube, her face, first of all, is beat to the guys, okay? And she looks amazing. So thank you for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, let's jump in. So how are you? What do you have going on right now?
Look, first of all, I barely could get her. I text her for a week. I'm in LA. I'm in Paris. I'm here. I'm on the coast of Italy. I'm this. I'm that. I don't even know if she was on one of those galactic ships to the moon. She's been everywhere.
I have. No, life has been, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
But a lot in good ways.
Okay.
So I was gone for about 3 weeks in Europe. One, because I'm getting married in Paris.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. And
That's exciting.
It's approaching very fast. I want time to slow down a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Was wedding planning stressful or not too much?
It's a little stressful.
Yeah.
I think it's more for me, I have anxiety because I want things to go well. And then I'm getting married in Paris.
Yeah.
It's not like I can just run down the street and go talk to my wedding planner or go do things. So that's one of the reasons why I was in Europe for so long. But no, it's good. I'm excited. I'm also, like I said, a little anxious, because it's you want everything to go right.
Yeah.
But it's a good time.
Yeah.
And, I'm super excited about just everything that I have going on, including this fabulous hair. I mean, I've been holding on to this sewing. Let me tell you. It's
are you like me? Because I will keep my sewing in for 3 months, and people be looking at me like, "Girl." Now I'll get it washed and touched up, but people be like, "Girl, it's time to come out." I'm like, it still look good.
Yeah, no, I just so I got this before I went to Europe, which was the end of June.
Okay,
and yeah, so here we are. But I'm getting it out today.
Okay. What kind of hair is it currently?
It's
or the wave?
The Indian curly.
Okay. Nice.
Love this hair.
Yes.
I love that you can just wash and go.
Yeah.
I
it
don't
looks
have to,
good too.
I don't have to do too much. So, it's I got that, what do they call
like a natural wave?
Like a natural
kinda.
Beach wave.
Yeah, that's
I feel like it's very California.
I love it, yeah. And you're from California. Are you from
No,
California?
I'm from Jersey.
Me too. What part?
Oh, I'm from South Orange.
I'm from South Plainfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's get into it. How did you and Mikey meet originally? Do you remember?
I
remember.
I've been talking a lot. Why don't you tell the story?
I was sitting at sitting in my office. We had one of our business partners, Angela Lee, there, and Angela, sent a few texts, whatever. She's like, "Hey, Mikey, my friend Jennifer's here. Can she stop by?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, whatever. I don't care." And I was like, "Who is she?" And she's like, "Oh, she's on this TV show or something." And, we were just talking in the last episode. I really don't get to watch much TV. So I was like, okay, cool. Which is also good because it's great to know the real person opposed to what they edit on TV. Because it's a whole different story. She shows up and I'm like, okay, what is this thing? Head to toe. I'm like, is this a walking? I feel like if you go to Korea, the airport there, they have this little strip where it's Hermès, Gucci, YSL. She was like a walking strip of this airport section, okay? And I'm just like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And we start talking. She says how she loves hair. And then I said, well, have you thought of getting in the hair industry? She's like, considered it, stayed in touch. And yeah, things kind of worked out. And today's an exciting day because we haven't really talked about it publicly yet about the transition of Redefined Glam that we worked with her on and kind of the idea behind that. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But it's been great. We've worked with a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's just been so great working with Jennifer. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
she's very much like me, just kind of like, I'll try anything as far as like marketing. We'll do this, try these products. Like, let's just try it. Who knows? Right? It's like spaghetti. You throw it against the wall and see what sticks. That's what's marketing. She understands that, where not everybody understands that. So it's just been a great experience. And I think going into the pivot of what we're doing is going to be even better. Hence, maybe if you're watching on YouTube, you can see one of these beautiful new products on the table here.
Oh, that hair is fabulous.
It is an exciting time for us in the hair industry. And right on time with her wedding and everything else going on.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about two people when you can create a partnership and it's mutually beneficial for both parties. So when you think of partnerships, what is something that you've learned in the past when it comes to building partnerships?
Well, I think for me, when I decide to do something, first of all, I always do my due diligence, right? And because I have people that ask me to, just kind of like endorse certain things. Yeah. And I have to believe in the product, right? Because I feel like you have to be able to sell it. And if you're just kind of like, I don't really know, that translates. So when I met Mikey and I see like all this fabulous hair, and for me, I like to try, touch, see, feel. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And we just had like really good synergy, and I'm the type of person, when I say I'm going to do something, I put my name on it. I really like to show up. Yeah. Right. Because I know a lot of celebrities, they have brands and they just kind of like show up and then it's like you don't see them. Yeah. I like to be very hands-on. I'm very much like, we did the Mary J. Blige Expo. Was it? I don't know if it was last year. I don't know.
Last year? Beginning of this year? It's kind of a blur.
Yeah. I'm like, the time just like flies. So it was not this past May, but the May.
Maybe it sounds about right.
Yeah. I think it was May 2023.
That was
great. Okay. And, like different celebrities have booths and all those things. I am the girl that is going to pull up. I'm going to be carrying equipment. I want to set up. Yeah. Like, I want to be there. I want to meet the people. And so I think people, when they see that, they're like, oh, she's really present for her
down
brand.
To earth.
And I think that's like one of the things like Mikey and I, we really gel well with, because I'm like, again, like, let's try it. Let's do it. Like, here's the thing. You don't know if it's going to be successful or not until you try it.
Right. Yeah.
So I think we definitely agree on that. And it's just worked well for me, because I feel like he's very structured, and that works with my Virgo energy. Because I cannot stand when things are like all over the place. Like, I need to know. I try and be like punctual. I try and respect people's time. I just think that we have similar morals when it comes to business. And I think that's very important, to circle back to your question when it comes to a partnership. Yeah. You have to be on the same page.
Definitely.
Right? And so I think you have to, one, show up. You have to do what you say you're going to do. Mm-hmm. And I think it really is about synergy. It's certain people that I'm sure they have like great brands, but maybe their personalities don't gel. Yeah. So I feel like we work
makes it really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about that Mary J. Blige event, we met there to set up, and it was me, her, and a few others. We were all carrying in the supplies and the decorations. Yeah. We literally were there putting this thing together, which was a lot of fun though too. Like, those kind of things make it more special. Yeah. Kind of like this podcast room. Like, people saw it and they're like, Mike, you didn't do it. I was like, no, I literally hung all the curtains, all the sound stuff. I did that wall. I did the paint, put up the signs, everything else. I said my girlfriend did the florals, because she does all her florals. The carpet, I put down the carpet, but it made it. Look at Zakiyrah. I was like, really?
You put down the carpet?
Yeah. It makes the podcast studio, which we've been doing for 7 years, Hair Biz Radio. It makes it so much more special, right? And sometimes you just have to get in and do the work. And it makes it more special.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel like anybody can delegate, like, do this, hang that. But when you actually put in the work and then it all comes to life, you're like, damn, I did that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it says a lot about your leadership skills too, and having a team, especially with owning a business, a production company, and hair as well. Like, you have to have a team. And if your team sees you in it, they're like that much more like, oh, I got to go hard, because even our leader is going hard.
Yeah, you set the example and the tone.
I love
and
that.
It's not that there isn't time for delegation, because delegation is very important.
Right.
But there is also a time that you have to just get in and start doing things yourself.
Yeah. So what has been the evolution of Redefined Glam? Ooh. And this is kind of like both of you, but what started like the name, and then what?
That was her name.
Like
she came up with the name.
Okay, yeah. So what was the inspiration?
The name is always so difficult for me, right? Because I'm like, okay, I want it to be something that, represents me. Yeah. Obviously. And then you don't want it like too long. You want it to be like a little cat. There's so many factors that go into it, and then I'm on GoDaddy, like, what's the real?
Yeah, GoDaddy.
That's very key. Mm-hmm. You gotta be able to get that website. Yeah. So I felt like I came up with some good names, but then like the website wasn't available. So there's so many things that go into the name, because the website is key. Yeah. So that was definitely GoDaddy. Me and GoDaddy were like best friends. Yeah. I was on that thing, like, because for me, my mind works at weird hours. So I'll be like in the middle of the night, I'll think of something, and then I'm like, let me go check. So I felt like it was a name that represents me, and the website was available.
I love it.
I mean, sometimes that's all it takes. Yeah. Like, it has to be the name and the website, and you can get some of the social. You're like, okay, we're good.
Yeah. Right. So Mikey, for you, what has been the evolution of starting Redefined Glam with the partnership, and then the direction that it's going in now?
Yeah. So it was one of those things where, okay, so we all know there was like zero movie production and everything last year, which crushed the hair industry. Mm-hmm. Hair, beauty, not just hair, but obviously we're in the hair, so we're talking about it, but hair, beauty industry, and just the hair this year with inflation, everything else. So the hair industry itself has been slow for the past year. Now, starting from scratch, we know how difficult it is to do a brand from scratch. It's a lot. Despite Jennifer's 1 million+ followers on Instagram and other social media platforms, on a TV show and all this stuff, it's still not easy, guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? It's still difficult. So I said, you know what? We work so well together, right? And even though we've been on her show and other things, and we still keep the business separate as far as the name and everything else, I said, this would be the perfect opportunity for us to come together. Yeah. Right? Because we've worked so well together, to come together. It was kind of right in line. I knew I was going back to China to go work for a couple weeks on product development and everything else. And I said, okay, this is the perfect timing. So I remember being in the car, called Jennifer, explained everything. And this is the way I explain it. Think of like Amazon. Well, private label as Amazon. So you have Amazon as the platform, private label is the platform. On Amazon, they do sell some of Amazon stuff, but it's a lot of other brands are sold on Amazon. Right? So Jennifer's like the test case for this new system that we're creating, where I said, hey, look, let's, instead of having this separate website where you have to have separate email marketing lists, separate text lists, separate social medias, although we'll keep the Redefined social media, she's done very well with, all the SEO stuff, which I just gave Zakiyrah a mind-blowing 15-minute course of SEO of what I've been working on. She's like, what the heck is this? It's crazy. Instead of trying to do two at once, let's bring it all together. So we bring the brand with new items under the private label name. And it's a funny story. So I was sitting in Shanghai. By the way, this summer in Shanghai was hot.
That just sounds hot.
It was hot. Guys, if you're going to Shanghai, go in like the fall or spring, not in the summer. Okay. We're sitting there and I'm trying to explain to my team. I'm like showing them like your Instagram and the photos. And so I said, see, high end. And they just kind of like didn't fully get it. Cause I'm like, because they are on, it's their job to say, okay, we need to have something affordable, cost effective. I said, no. No.
That's not what I want this time.
No, that is not Jennifer Williams. Throw out, and they kind of didn't understand until I said, Hermès? And they're like, Hermès? And I said, yeah, we need to create the Hermès of hair products. It's like, oh, why didn't you say so?
Right.
I'm like, brother, I've been telling you this for the last 15 minutes trying to explain, like nothing else worked. But when I said Hermès, it's so funny. For some reason, I think his wife like always wants Hermès stuff. And like, I don't know, China loves that kind of stuff, right? So finally, so I worked with them, talking with Jennifer about products she likes, everything else. And when I say, we were talking about wigs earlier and stuff, I said, I've never, okay, think about this. Private label, we've been doing this for 10 years. Sold tens of millions of dollars in products, tens of thousands of bundles and wigs and everything else. I have never made products this good. I have never made wigs this good on everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like I have here, if you're watching on YouTube, if not, I'm sorry, go see Private Label on YouTube. You'll see the
Hair Biz these clip-ins are really
good.
No,
these are seamless clip-ins.
Yeah.
The quality is the raw material. So like you can get seamless clip-ins at Private Label. This part's the same, okay? Same clips, same kind of construction, how you do everything. But it's the quality, raw material of this hair is so ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous. And now
it is very full. It's just
but it's just it's flawless. It's the
amazing.
Strand of hair though is such of high quality, okay? Because you have donors and the way everything's done, it's all done. This is all done in ponytails, single donor ponytail hair. It's the quality of this is so above and beyond, and I made sure of that for every single piece we make for you. So it's more of a limited edition as far as of these items, right? So it's not like some of these sites that sell like 1 million of these same wigs, like that's not going to be that for Redefined. It would be more like one-of-a-kind pieces and such, especially for the wigs. The dimensions of the color will blow your mind. How long it will last. Like these things, they're expensive, but this is going to last, like it could last years. Literally.
It looks like it.
Yeah, that's going to last years. So it's worth it.
Yeah, and that's quality.
That's quality. That's Jennifer Williams.
Yeah.
Quality. Hermès, the whole look.
Quality over quantity. Like I truly believe that.
Yeah.
And even I know this is like super, super high end, but even what we have been selling. Like I get great feedback, great reviews. My friend Tamika Mallory, she's a big activist, and she's like, Jennifer, you have something good here with this hair. She's like, I didn't think I would be able to take it out and reuse it, and I didn't have time to switch to sewing. And she's like, it just is amazing. And I'm like, I love to hear that because again, I like to sell quality.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people just want to sell something. But for me, I feel like if you're going to invest in hair, which people do invest in their hair, it should be good.
Absolutely.
Right? And you shouldn't have to continue to always buy hair unless you want to switch it up.
Right.
But not because the hair is bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone's budgets, right? But Private Label does do a good job of having other products for people in all budgets.
Yeah.
This is like same with Hermès. I don't shop at Hermès, right? The first Hermès bag I think I ever saw was this one brought it over to a meeting. I was like, I've never seen one of these. I've heard stories. I've seen the stores.
I've heard stories.
I've heard stories. So it's like that where it's not supposed to be for everyone.
Right.
But if you do like to spend money for quality and especially for hair, like this it is so above and beyond what people make, because I think almost like people are scared to make it. But Jennifer gave me the reason and the purpose to go above and beyond with a hair extension product. So we have the seamless clip-ins, the tape-ins. We have multiple styles of wigs. We have one hell of a ponytail. I showed Zakiyrah the ponytail. Zakiyrah was like, oh my God.
I love a good ponytail.
26-inch ponytail perfection.
I need all of that.
And then we're going to have a custom-made kind of couture style. These are words I don't really use. But we're going to have like these custom other kind of one-off projects that people will be able to order if they want. Like we talked in other times with Zakiyrah, like Zakiyrah has a smaller head. So if you need a wig with a smaller wig cap, we will handcraft this with the best materials, professional color, everything else for you. It is so, I'm so excited about it. I know people are like, why is this guy so excited? I am so excited because it's so next level.
Yeah, I love that. And honestly, I know there's a lot of hair brands, hair companies, And I love that we're doing this because I feel like you do have to set yourself apart. You know what I mean? Like, okay, why is this Hermès and not, I don't want to know. I'm like, and not, I don't even know what's like.
Oh my God.
Like
another
like,
brand.
Yeah. Like, it's like, listen.
Kate Spade. I don't know.
Oh yeah. It's like, you can buy something at Neiman's or you could go to Macy's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think I want to be in the upper echelon.
Yeah.
Right? And I get it. Probably more people can afford to go to Macy's, but it's like at some point, you want to separate yourself. And
Absolutely.
when it comes to hair, me personally, I just feel like, listen, when you look good, you feel good.
Yeah.
Right? And a part of that for women is having hair. Mm-hmm. But I think it needs to be quality hair. Like I see some of these girls running around here and I'm like, where did that hair come from? Like, who? Like
Amazon.
Right. Like what the hell? So I just believe in, when it comes to your appearance, like you should spend quality money on that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's actually right now, especially
that lasts.
Yeah, that lasts.
Yeah.
Right now in the hair industry, to be honest with you, I was joking about Amazon because Amazon is like the clearance section for all, like, when I go to China or anywhere else, I'm meeting with the real manufacturers and we talk about how they get rid of like their kind of products are a little off and other stuff. It's all sold through Amazon, right? You can find some good stuff, good quality, cheap on Amazon, but there's a good chance you might get it might be a little risky bisky over there, okay?
Risky bisky.
So that's the Amazon. But right now there's such a race to the bottom with hair products because people's budgets are not what they were during COVID, right?
Right.
COVID was not real, guys. It was like a non-realistic time in our lives as far as the government just
giving out money.
Giving out money, right?
Yeah.
So there's such a race to the bottom in the hair industry. That's what I'm talking to everyone about, the teams over there. And this is just so different from what other people are doing. This is like a race to the top. I'm even like, wait, how can I even make this better? My team's like, are you nuts? And I'm like, maybe, but it's not that race to the bottom hair product that so many other companies are trying to produce right now. It is really unbelievable.
But here's my thing about that, right? So I get it. You buy something that's affordable. It's almost kind of like, I'm going to equate it to this, like fast fashion, mm-hmm. right? Again, I don't want to name any names, but like, you can.
The online boutiques, like stores.
Here's my thing. You could buy that. You'll probably wear it once because the zipper's going to break. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, then you go back, you buy something. It's like, why not buy
quality
one
products?
Thing,
yeah,
have it last, and because here's the thing, you're gonna end up spending the same amount of money because you're gonna constantly have to rebuy. Mm-hmm. You're changing your, you know what I mean, but you're not buying quality.
It's funny she said that. It's a perfect segue into the clothing brand that does not yet sponsor this podcast, but I wear religiously. This is the new Built Basic. So this is quality. It is affordable. It's not cheap.
What is it called?
It's Built, BYLT. So it's Built Basics. They do have a females line that they've got into, especially a lot of workout clothes and kind of active wear.
Check it out.
So I'll see if I can maybe even convince Built Basics to send Jennifer some. But this is a new shirt. I know you know quality. I love
believe
these shirts. It's like,
and it looks good on you.
It looks good. It's a tapered fit and such, and it's kind of that stretchy material. What I like about Built Basic clothes, guys, is it's so good to travel with. Like I roll all my clothes up and I put it in my nice Rimowa suitcase. That's the one brand I will spend some money on is my suitcases because I travel. I love Rimowa.
Yeah, Christian has that too. He's like, you need those.
Oh
but I just feel like I carry too much. It's just like.
So Built Basics is amazing. I can imagine how many suitcases she might need for some of these trips. But I'll tell you about it, Rimowa. And the quality of Rimowa is... The problem with Rimowa is the people that do the airport stuff.
They just swing it around.
Yeah. They see how far they can throw these things. Yeah, so it gets beat up. You got to I put stickers all over mine. So it looks kind of cool. Like, you actually travel. You don't buy Rimowa to make it look perfect. But the wheels on Rimowa suitcases.
I know. Immaculate.
the way you roll it, I'm like, people are like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I'm like, roll my suitcase.
Roll my suitcase.
I know.
It is like
it's like on clouds.
So what I want to do is create that feeling, that Ramoa through the airport with those beautiful wheels. I'm trying to create that feeling for women with the Redefined collection.
Okay,
analogy. Yeah.
Yes, it's 100%. I think about how people feel when they wear it. When I hand this to someone and they feel this, they're like, I've never felt something like this before. I was like, I know. Okay. It is just that good. So with all the products we're making, I'm like, how can I continue to one up myself? When people buy this, I want them to be like, holy cow, this guy, he's a little crazy, but he wasn't kidding.
Right. You know what I love too that we are offering is basically you can make your wig online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is just top tier.
Yes.
See, we're here.
Yes.
It really is. Like I can't say, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen a website doing that, but again, it's also not going to be this quality.
It's not going to be that quality.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's such a great feature because, you know, I'm not really into the wig thing. I'm trying to be a little more versed.
Yeah.
It's going to take me a little bit of time. I love the headband wigs because I just feel like it's great for like vacation, working out, like whatever, bad hair days, so many reasons. And I love
headband wig.
I love the curly one. It's like I get so many compliments on that. But to be able to customize a wig online is brilliant.
And what's interesting about those headband wigs for Jennifer, we've been making the raw headband wigs, which nobody's making raw headband wigs. It's a headband wig.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, it's for Jennifer. I'm going to make a raw headband. I mean, it is what it is. Now, there's different levels of quality for raw hair. So this is like, I would say say if there's 5 levels of hair, this is like a raw level 3 for the headband wigs. But then the other products that it's not, you know, that a headband wig is kind of, you're working out in it or doing all these other things. You don't need a level 5 quality headband wig. Right. It just doesn't make sense. But all the other stuff, these wigs, the tape-ins, clip-ins, and all that, we're talking level 5. This is like the best of the best. And when people get it, I can't wait till they start having, because we've never sold hair of this caliber before. I can't wait for them to have it. They're going to freak out.
Yeah.
Literally
so
freak out.
So let me ask you, what's the longest bundle that we're selling of this great quality?
So Jennifer's taking over my collection, private collection of long bundles that is exclusive to top stylists for top celebrities. We are talking people with anywhere 50 to 200 million followers on Instagram. You can figure out who they are. They have all worn out hair. You will never see photos with that of like, they'll send me anything. I do not share any of that. We're very private, a private label, hence the name.
Hello.
But we will have 40-inch bundles, 45-inch bundles, 50-inch bundles, 55-inch bundles, 60-inch bundles, 70-inch bundles.
How long was the ponytail for the launch party?
80.
Oh my God.
80. Okay.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, let's talk about the 80-inch ponytail.
That ponytail. Woo! First of all, it was heavy.
Woo.
But you got to think, it's 80 inches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Dallas literally was my hair carrier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, I had hair ballet. Like that's insane.
That is for an 80-inch ponytail.
Dallas is a miracle worker with hair. So like if he's the only one I've never let anyone touch it. The only one that's ever touched that hair, any stylist, Dallas.
He did a phenomenal job. And here's the thing. Again, I'm launching Redefine.
Yeah.
Right? You want to be different. You want to make it a moment. We hadn't seen that.
Yeah, ever.
You know? And it's like, obviously we're filming this for TV. So then you're like, how do I step this up and how do I make it a splash?
Yeah.
Right? And I still get just compliments and comments about the ponytail. The ponytail was iconic.
Very much so.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever worn something. You can't get it. So, I mean, still people are trying to buy it from me for like music videos and other stuff. I'm like, I'm good. It's not like they're going to shout me out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know? Like, and it's for the money, it's not worth it for the marketing. So that kind of long, crazy hair. In addition, so I know you guys have seen stylists and other people wearing that long hair before. The biggest problem always is they'll be wearing a frontal. That frontal will be short and they get called out on these frontals. So, oh God, had to tell the team, guys, I need a 13x6 HD 40-inch frontal.
Ooh,
right?
40
so we
inch
made
frontal.
the 40 in front. But here's the thing. I'll tell you what happened. So I made the 40-inch frontal, and then I was having a meeting, and we made a wig, and she tagged me in it, so it's fun to talk about it. So Winnie Harlow, we made a wig for Winnie Harlow, right? Who I just think's, great. She has case skin and all that. So we made this wig for her, and I'm sitting there, and she's telling me she had this wig that was long, and it looked great, right? It was a little thin, but it looked great. And she's like, yeah, that has a 40-inch frontal. What the hell did they get a 40-inch? Oh, that's very nice. As soon as I got out of that meeting, texting the team, I need a 45-inch frontal.
The 45.
Nobody's going to want up a frontal length on me. So now we're going to have a 40-inch and 45-inch frontal on the site.
Nice.
Under Redefined. Like, do you know how hard it is to make a 45-inch frontal? These are handmade knots, and you make the knot, and you have to, the return. We're talking small people making this. Like, the return is like, this is 4 feet. Trying to make each little tiny knot. This is talking, that frontal probably took 60 hours to make. At least 60 to 70 hours.
And of the raw hair, the raw.
Absolutely. Ponytail perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, this is like creme de la creme.
We're talking hair industry beauty. Beauty isn't just hair, but when did you first get into like glam, like beauty, hair, makeup?
Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah. Who was Jennifer back then?
I'm about to date myself, but it's okay because I'm talking to you guys. So here's the thing. I've always been into, I guess, my appearance. And when I was younger, I can't even believe they're still around, but when I was younger, I went to Barbizon.
I did too.
You did? I know Dallas, he does stuff at Barbizon.
Yeah.
That was when I first found out. I was like, oh shit, they're still in business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But so yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that I got it from my mother.
Okay.
Right? Because my mother, she was always into hair care.
Okay.
My mother had gorgeous hair. My sister and I, we had amazing hair. My sister, I'll show you guys. Did I ever show you a picture of my sister's hair?
Actually, I think you did.
My sister had very, very long hair.
Wow.
Like as a kid.
Yeah, like you when you were in maybe like, was it, I guess, Jersey or Brooklyn or something?
Yeah, Jersey. So my sister's hair was probably like a little longer than this.
Her natural hair was just that, wow.
Yes. And so my mom was very much into, like taking care of our hair.
Yeah.
Like we always had long hair. I remember every Sunday we would have to get our hair done in the kitchen Sunday evening, So
with the hot comb? Was she
no, my mother never used hot comb.
Okay.
So I think that's probably where it started.
Okay.
I was always like, okay, Monday I'm gonna look cute for school, So I think that is definitely where it started. And then I got into makeup, but very just, like probably like lip glosses and stuff like that. And then I would say it probably elevated when I got on TV.
Okay.
Right?
And what was that transition? Like, what made you actually want to do TV?
So it wasn't that I wanted to do it. Like, I didn't get cast to do Basketball Wives. It was literally a situation where Shoni had this idea to do a show. She knew Evelyn. I knew her. We all had a conversation. Here's the thing. You do these shows. Well, back then, we started in 2010.
Yeah.
You just never know what's going to come of it, right? And again, my motto is I got to try it to know if I love it or hate it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it sounds cool. They came to my house, filmed me, and then it was like next thing I know, they were like, oh, we got picked up. We're starting to film. And I'm like, oh, okay. I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah.
Again, the show airs. You still don't know what to expect because you don't know if people are really going to be invested. And here we are.
All right. 10 years later.
Like we're on season 12, which is crazy. So it's like you don't know, right? But I'm like, okay, well, this is something. You know, it's not half bad. But I'm gonna tell you. So you do the show. It's your first season. You don't know what to expect. You're just like, okay, I'm just gonna be me.
Yeah.
I don't think I would get my makeup done, but I really want to get my makeup done unless I was really like doing an interview. I think I more so started to get my makeup done more as, you know, the seasons went on. So anyway, that first season, you're like looking at yourself on TV like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? And you had this like, oh, I look like, what made me wear? Like now when I look back, because I think season 1 and 2, they're on Netflix. First of all, the cameras were completely different back then.
Yeah.
Like you can tell the difference. And that HG is not your friend. You know, like you see every pore, nose hair, all of that.
Yeah.
So like back then I'm like, damn, the cameras were horrible, you know? But I look at myself and I'm like, wow, it's just, I see season 1, I wore my hair. I've always had like long hair, you know? I think season 2, I started wearing maybe a sew-in. Yeah, I think maybe season 2,
okay.
I will wear like
inched up a little bit.
So you know, it's funny to watch the progression of yourself on TV, right? But it definitely, for me, it started definitely with the makeup. I was like, okay, yeah, I need to get my makeup done. You know, it doesn't make sense for every scene if you're doing like a workout scene or whatever. But yeah, that's when I was like, okay, I gotta amp this up.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't always get your makeup done, right? So you do need to, like I did this today.
You did good. Yeah.
And that's something you learn too. And I think there's so many ways to learn how to do makeup, but for me, it's like I've gotten my makeup done so many times. I definitely don't do all this stuff that they do. Like I'm a quick 20-minute girl, you know? But there's like YouTube now to like learn things. And yeah, I just kind of always been into it, but it definitely got amplified when I saw myself on TV.
Yeah, I love that. Love it. So what has been the evolution of Jennifer's hair when it comes to, because you were just wearing your natural hair and then you went into sew-ins, and then what made you want to start trying different kind of day hairstyles, if you will?
Well, like I said, I think my mom always instilled in me about, you know, the hair, and my mother was very much into that. So that translated to me. And then season 1, when I wore my hair, it's like you just kind of want to give different looks. Yeah. Right? And you also want to protect your hair. Yeah. So I think I was like, okay, well, maybe I want my hair a little longer, you know? Yeah. And so I think that's kind of how it started for me. And then I became known for my hair, right? And I don't know if it started because, well, people always thought I had a weave, even when I didn't.
Because your hair was so beautiful.
Yeah, I was like, no, I remember one time someone was like, is that, what they say, Yaki B or something? And I was like,
this is me.
I was like younger and I was completely clueless about hair. And I was like, what the hell is that Yaki? You know what I mean? It was so funny to me. But I became known for my hair. And then I say, you know what? Like, I want to be able to give different looks. Yeah. And with that, protecting your hair and being able to do different looks, gotta use some of this. You know?
Right. Yeah. So
yeah, that's kind of how it started for me.
I love it. So being in the TV industry and having to switch up looks, or you switching up your looks on your own, are there any moments where you have to look a certain way based on what they like for you to show as?
No, they don't tell you. Because
Jennifer's the boss now. So producers gonna be like, what? No.
Sometimes they don't do it anymore, but it would be like the beginning of the season. They were like, guys, so we really want to elevate the brand, and you know, they would talk about wardrobe. I'm like, you could have left me off this email. Like, I don't need the wardrobe notes. Honey. Send that. There's a couple people that do, but not me. But they don't tell you, unless it's like a theme that we're doing, you know, but they would never say, oh, wear your hair like this, or wear this. It's just kind of, you can do what you want, but yeah, certain people do need notes, but not me.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Shots.
Right, shots fired. We need one of those little things that's like, the podcast sounds.
Yeah. They y'all can do that in post. Make the
sound. Lynch here, hook that up, buddy. All right.
Hilarious.
Wow.
So tell us a little bit about Jennifer Williams Production.
So I started my production company a couple years ago. And here's the thing. I've been on TV for so long. And I was like, okay, I've always said I want to use this platform as a stepping stone for me to do other things. And I'm interested in content, right? But I'm also interested in making content that's important to me.
Yeah.
So I decided to start my production company, and really like my first project was my documentary that I did. That was a passion project for me. And it was something that I was like, okay, I don't care. I'm spending my own money. Like this is something I have to do because this story has to be told. It's something that we don't really talk about too much in the Black community, because I think a little bit of pride and ego, and it does take being brave to come forward and tell your story. But I was like, you know what? The longer I remain silent, I'm giving this person more power. To continue to do this to other people. So for me, the documentary, My True Scam Story, which I didn't want that to be the name, but I'm not the network.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I want this to have an impact. And so I'm really proud of the finished product and, what it turned out to be. And it was very successful. And I think it gave people courage to be like, you know what? I'm not alone and I should tell my story.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I didn't want to stop there, because I feel like this happens all the time, right? But it's not really a platform for people to get any kind of recourse for what they have gone through.
Yeah.
And just like healing and be able to talk about it. So I have something in the works that I'm really excited about, and I have a good feeling it's going to materialize, because it's really an untapped market.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that, and I just actually yesterday got the final cut for my movie that I shot. It's my first, thank you. It's my first motion picture, and that was a journey as well. But again, I was like, I want this production company to not be one genre. Like I want to be able to, if I feel like I'm passionate about this, or I want to tell this story, regardless whether it's reality, a documentary, a motion picture, I want to be able to do it. Like I want to be Lionsgate.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
That's my aspiration.
I love it.
It's funny she said that, because when production company, I've talked about this for years. And then I was like, wait a second, I got a friend and business partner that has a production company. Good Hair was a huge movie for the hair industry.
I do remember Good Hair.
And I still to this day have not watched. I've seen little clips. I have not watched the whole thing. The reason being is I one day want to create my own version of a documentary for the hair industry. And I didn't want to get ideas from that and kind of recreate it.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you see something and you're like, wait a second, this
subconsciously.
is
I could do that, but I could do it better.
Yeah, like you don't want to do like something similar, because people are like, oh, well, they're just trying to remake it. Something like that. So I didn't watch it. But Jennifer's busy these days, as you guys know, guys.
We talked about this.
We talked about it briefly. I think it would be so cool to have a real documentary of really the hair industry.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking her places. I mean, I have access everywhere now, right? So we go into India, we go into China, we go into Vietnam, we go into Cambodia, where hair's sourced and this, that, the other, and they see the manufacturing facilities. And, I have footage of, I'm flying my drone through the manufacturing facility. People are like, Mikey, how'd you get this footage? I was like, they let me do anything I want. They're like,
no, that's amazing. And I I feel like with my production company, I want to do projects that are meaningful to me.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm in the hair business. I think it would be a great project for us to do. We work well together anyway. And, you know, to me, that's very interesting, seeing the behind the scenes of everything. I don't think I saw that project either that you were discussing. Hair? Yes. So, but again, like, I feel like because he's in the industry, you know what I mean? I now have this hairline that could be, you know,
and we both
might have an Emmy on our hands.
Right.
We both love to fly Delta, so we're going to fly Delta over to Asia. We'll hop around over there.
A little pissed off with Delta.
Actually, sorry. If you guys know the big meltdown that happened, she got stuck right in the middle of that.
Oh my God. I was like, oh.
Was this when the system shut down?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think
she was a victim.
People's savior in that time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was definitely nuts. But yeah, no, I think that we
kind of cool. Stay tuned next year, maybe.
Exactly.
2 years. Who cares?
No, we need to start cooking that up.
Yeah, cook it up.
I love it. So what is one piece of business advice that you would give a young lady or really anyone that is just getting ready to get started on a business? Not necessarily the hair industry, but just in general.
That's a good question. I would say to just follow your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I think I always say nothing good is easy, right? And people just think we all love instant gratification. Mm-hmm. I get it. But when you're building a brand, it takes blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
Like, I can correlate it to my documentary. It took a lot for me to get that sold. I heard a lot of no's, but I believed in myself, and I knew what message I wanted to put out there. So I was like, listen, I don't know what platform this is going to land on, but it's going to land somewhere because it was a passion project for me. Yeah. So when you are building a brand and you're passionate about it, you have to understand it might come with some no's, but you're going to get that yes. You just have to be patient. Yeah. And I think really just being persistent and patient is key.
Yeah, I think that it starts with yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you even get over that first hump? Like the first no. It's like if you don't believe in yourself, if someone is telling you no, it's kind of like, dang, I'm a failure, or I'm not good enough, or I can't do this. So definitely believing in yourself for sure. What's one word you would use to describe how you felt after creating the documentary? Once it was done and it was like, we're done. It's like one word.
I remember I got a message from the production company I was working with that I had partnered with, and they were like, we just turned in the final cut to the network. And I was in Savannah, ironically, and I just felt so proud.
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
yes,
you did
the damn thing.
Because I knew like what I had been through. I knew what I put into it. I knew the message that I wanted to put out there. And it was just, for me, it was a proud moment. Like, I did this. And it's so fulfilling to see your hard work just come to life. You know, like just like you were talking about you doing this studio. It's just when it's done, you're like, yes. So for me, it was a relief, but it was a very proud moment for me.
I love it. Love it. Is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't kind of touched? That you're like, hey, we need to talk about this.
A lot.
We went through a few things. And of course, we're going to have Jennifer back on probably in like maybe six, get some more people through. But like 6 months, we'll talk about some of the changes, the experience, because this is the first time we're doing this.
Yeah.
Right? Because, private label has always been private label. That's it. So to bring like a brand in the same collection is something new for us, even after a decade. And so I think it would be great to have Jennifer back, and let's talk about some of the things that didn't go so well. Maybe everything did go well. And, we talk about it all the time. With experience, you make a lot less mistakes. You make a lot wiser decisions. Sometimes you think in business that it's just luck, and it's really sometimes it is luck, but a lot of times you've been through so much that your decisions are just so much better than you were like, man, I used to just never be lucky. And now I feel like I'm lucky all the time. Well, maybe you're just a lot better at what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting for us to come sit back down, talk about some new products and some of the other interesting things that we went through with this. Because after we record this, I'm going to show her the website, which nobody's really seen yet. And I think she's going to be pretty excited because it looks pretty damn good. And some of the new products just came in. And by the time this is out, you can go to privatelabelextensions.com. You'll probably see a nice banner of Jennifer on the homepage. We are going to feature her in her collection and be like, Hermès, careful. No, I'm not going to put Hermès on there, but like, be warned.
Top.
That's top now, okay? But it's going to be, I think this is just something so revolutionary for the hair industry. And the problem with the hair industry, and not with Jennifer, this is why we get along so well. She's so not selfish about business and just her personally. And that's why I get along with her so well, because Zakiyrah and I have been working together for a decade. Okay.
Oh my God.
For a decade, we've been working together, and we've always built this brand, Private Label, about not being selfish about information and education. And it's the same thing how Jennifer invited us on her show, which is, pretty big. And, people are like, oh, it's just a show. But most people don't get on TV. Like, it's pretty cool to be on TV.
Yeah.
And see that experience. For me, it was a great experience. So just not a non-selfish approach to business is just very nice to be around.
Yeah, and it's hard to find now because a lot of people are for self. Like, what can I do for me?
Yeah.
And I think that you go further when you do it together.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely don't believe in that. And, I applaud you, Mikey, because I know you have stepped out of your comfort zone. And he was always like, no, I don't want to be on TV.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know it's me, whatever. But he's definitely embraced that.
Yeah.
And so I applaud you for that. And it's just, yeah, I do believe in, God blesses us so we can bless other
others,
people.
yeah.
And that's how you keep your blessings coming. But I do want to say to you, Mikey, thank you for being a trailblazer and thinking outside of the box and allowing me this opportunity. I always said if I did a hairline, like I want to do it with somebody that knows the game, right? Because it's like, I have no idea. Like, I don't even know about all these wigs. So I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for this new opportunity. I think that it's, again, something that hasn't been done because he's a trailblazer and I'm going to just throw myself in as well. And I feel like, we might set some trends.
Definitely.
So I'm excited for this journey and to see how this all goes. And again, you got to try it to know if it's successful or not. So I'm proud of us for just, stepping out and doing something different. And I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
You might be the new like Amazon of hair.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. The quality of this hair is literally amazing. I'm like,
yeah, woo. It's wild. So hopefully it don't get into more people's hands.
It will.
And we'll be able to do, seeing the custom made stuff and all the other kind of one-off products. It's very rare that someone's just going to make one-off products and have those available. So we'll have limited edition stuff, one-off products, custom made products, all the best though. The best that I know how to make these today. And if you guys have been following me for a while, I do spend a month a year in manufacturing facilities working on this. So this is not just like I'm sitting here in Atlanta all the time, like whipping this stuff
he's
up.
on
like
the go.
Yeah.
I'm in the streets in Atlanta.
The Million Miler Club.
And overseas, okay? Yes.
Right, Million Miler.
Million Miler is great.
Yeah.
They get some extra perks these days. So yeah.
They treat you well.
Yeah, they do.
Yes. Well, cheers to you, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us in the studio. Any last words? We can end with one of your life's mantras. What is something that you live by? Or like your favorite quote or something?
That's a good one. I mean, I think I've said it.
Follow your dreams.
Yeah. Follow your dreams. And another thing that I live by is I keep saying this. You have to try it to know if you love it or hate it.
Yeah.
right? I think people get kind of in their box and they don't want to get outside of that. And you never know. It's like it's a whole world out there.
Yeah.
But you won't know if you don't try it. So I just really believe in having a open mind. If I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys today.
Yeah.
So it's like, you never know what path that's going to lead you down. So definitely just keep an open mind.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We'll put all of Jennifer's information in the show notes and the links to the website and the new wigs, clip-ins, tape-ins, ponytails, everything else that is available on the Redefined Glam collection under private label.
Later.
Thank you, guys.